As soon as we found out Henry Cavill was leaving The Witcher, we knew that it was over for this series. Sure, while he was still a part of it, it had major issues, but at the same time, he really brought a lot of life to the project. And now that season 4 is out, everybody hates it like we expected, and the viewership for this series has tanked compared to the other seasons. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, we all thought it was going to be pretty bad for The Witcher Season 4 because Henry Cavill was no longer affiliated with it. He did bring a lot of normies to this series, and to top that off, I think his replacement was pretty bad. Liam Hemsworth is not a good actor, in my opinion, and of course, he just looks like a guy that's cosplaying Geralt, whereas Henry Cavill really filled out the armor and the suits, and he just brought a lot of charismatic energy to Geralt, even if this series had a lot of issues leading up to this point. It still was enjoyable. It still felt like it might not be the best piece of entertainment, but as the seasons went on, it got worse and worse because they stopped listening to him as much. We have heard from several of the actors and actresses on this project that he really cared about the source material. He was like a Witcher Bible. On set, he would carry around the books, bringing up dialogue that should be said and different elements of the books and even the games that should be brought into the TV show. And as time went on, they got more and more annoyed with him. I mean, Lauren Hisrich has even admitted that before. And now we finally have some numbers, and boy, are they looking bad. So, What's on Netflix posted The Witcher Season 4 debuts number 2 on the Netflix charts, which you might say to yourself, sounds pretty good, but during a time when Netflix isn't launching a lot, and of course, you had these other seasons with these massive numbers. Well, the good narrative falls apart fast because it picked up 7.4 million views. That is down from a whopping 18.5 million for season 2 and 15.2 million for season 3. So, we clearly are seeing a massive drop off after Cavill has left. And I think that this is so funny because they really thought that, sure, we're going to lose some viewers, but some people will still stay around, and this is just abysmal compared to what they previously had. I mean, 7.4 down from 18.5 and even 15.2 is absolutely massive. And even the first episode of season 4 was watched by 35% less households than season 3, 577K versus 885K, currently ranked as the series' lowest rated season yet on Rotten Tomatoes. And that's not stopping some fans who are still curious as to where this next chapter leads, Samba TV says, which is just so hilarious because they had filmed season 4 and season 5 at the same time, unless they're going to have to do a couple of reshoots, but they already know how this series is going to end, and I think that if that wasn't the case, even though they had plans for 5 seasons, they would have had to stop it after season 4. And I do think that because it's filmed, Netflix is just going to barrel forward with it and probably still release it. But these numbers are absolutely terrible for them. And of course, people are saying, yeah, we all knew that this was going to happen. If that's number 2 in the charts with less than half the viewership, Netflix must be tanking right now. Yeah, Netflix's prices have gone up, so a lot of people have unsubscribed. You have a lack of new good content, and they're not even bringing a lot of like classics out of the vault. They're not really even paying for licenses to a lot of classic films that people love, so it's just looking like a disaster for them. And debuts with the lowest IMDb score to date, number 2, that's fitting. It's all shit. Wow, I'm shocked. Bring back Henry. This series should have already been canceled. It was an adaptation that didn't work. It started off well, but it began to lose its way in the second season. The team behind it is completely lost. And this is what happens when you hire people who, first of all, are not fans of the product, but second of all, they're not even showing respect to the original source material. They're not actually trying to sit here and say, even if I'm not a fan, I want to do the best job I can for the people who love it. I want this to end up being remembered positively. It's just like they want to get it done with, and they don't care how low they set the bar. And if we head on over to Rotten Tomatoes, Metacritic, and IMDb, it is looking terrible. The all critic score is a 58%, top critic is a 33%, and the all audience is at a 19% with over 1,000 ratings, sitting at a 1.6 out of 5 stars. And people are, of course, not holding back when it comes to voicing their thoughts and opinions on this, and I am very sad. I love the books, the video games are amazing, and I didn't go into this series expecting it to be a complete one-for-one adaptation. I figured they would make some decisions that people weren't going to agree with, but the first season started out strong, even though it strayed away from the source material. Season 2 really dipped in quality, but it was still partially entertaining. Season 3 was awful. Season 4 was god-awful, and I bet Season 5 is going to be one of the worst seasons of television we're ever going to have to watch, period. It's just so sad that they have so much rich source material to work with, so many amazing characters and storylines, and this is the best they can come up with. People are saying things like unbelievably horrible acting and even worse storytelling. The makers should be ashamed. Nothing makes sense. The makeup is continually getting worse. Seriously, can't believe they spent the money and ruined the momentum that was built. There are, of course, some people reverse review bombing it, saying, I'm a fan of the lore and the books and the games, and this is amazing. It might be better than what Henry Cavill did. Go and watch. The lie detector has determined that that's a lie. This should be the easiest money grab in the world. You already had a story, you already had a fan base. All you need to do is essentially copy and paste. This is like the smart kid giving you all the answers beforehand and you still manage to get an F. Yeah, it's like with the Wheel of Time. I genuinely felt like the Wheel of Time series could have been one of the best pieces of entertainment ever. Like with Game of Thrones. If Game of Thrones hadn't have ended so poorly, it would have been one of the best pieces of entertainment ever. And The Witcher could have been an easy win, but instead, fantasy fans keep getting screwed over because they're hiring normies. Stop hiring normie losers who don't care about the fans and respecting the material. It shouldn't be that hard. I loved The Witcher show until the directors and writers destroyed it. Henry Cavill as The Witcher had chemistry with the other actors and actresses. You could see it on screen and you can connect with them. The show is now totally different and I don't feel the same chemistry whilst watching it. I hate the path they made Ciri take. The whole rat saga is atrocious. I'm so disappointed in it. I don't even understand why it's called The Witcher when The Witcher is barely in it. Simply awful compared to the last 3 seasons. The supporting acting is cringeworthy to watch and the storylines feel lightweight to previous seasons. I've really tried to watch the new season, but gave up. I really did. The deviations from the source material are so egregious starting with season 2. I was skeptical with the franchise as it is, but the writing is absolute trash and it only gets worse. Very bad series. They destroyed the good narrative. I was looking forward to season 4 for so long. I watched the first episode and immediately removed the season from my go-to-watch list. Bring back Henry. I can see why Cavill watched this show. So, yeah, it is looking extremely rough for Netflix right now. Yeah, I mean, if this is what gets you the number 2 slot at just 7.4 million views, that in of itself is pretty bad, but The Witcher having such a massive decline, 7.4, which is down from 18.5 and 15.2 is insane, and I really don't think that it is going to be a very bright future for really any of the actors affiliated with this project. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this and found it important and informative, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.